Class 11th, Subject Physics, 9th chapter, Optics. From the chapter, let us see what is the dispersive power of the optical instruments. The ability of any optical material or instrument to disperse constituent colors is called its dispersive power. Mathematically, it is defined as the ratio of angular dispersion between two colors to the mean deviation for these two colors is called as dispersive power. The ratio of angular dispersion between two colors to mean deviation for these two colors is called as the dispersive power. Thus, for extreme colors, that is red and violet of white light, dispersive power is given as dispersive power omega equal to delta V minus delta R, that is the dispersion between two extreme colors, divided by the mean deviation, that is delta V plus delta R upon 2. Now delta V minus delta R, that is angular dispersion, divided by mean deviation. Yellow color is considered as mean color, and therefore deviation of mean color will be taken as the mean deviation. Delta V minus delta R is written as A into NV minus NR, that is the angular dispersion between two extreme colors, and then deviation of mean color, that is yellow color, is written as A into NY minus 1. A will get cancelled, and therefore the dispersive power omega will be equal to NV minus NR upon NY minus 1. So this is the mathematical expression for the dispersive power. Now from this relation, it is clear that as dispersive power is the ratio of similar quantities, that is the refractive indices, therefore it is unitless and dimensionless. From this equation, again it is clear that the dispersive power depends upon the refractive indices, that is material of the prism, and does not depend upon the dimensions of prism, because that refracting angle of the prism A is cancelled, and therefore it will not depend upon the dimensions of the prism. For commonly used glasses, the dispersive power is nearly equal to 0.03. So this will be regarding the dispersive power of the optical materials. Now let us see some natural phenomenon due to sunlight. So due to sunlight, some of the natural phenomena will take place. The first one is the formation of mirage. Now let us see first what is mirage, and then we will see how it is produced. So on a hot, clear, sunny day, along a level road, that is horizontal road, a pond of water appears to be there ahead. If we physically reach that spot, there is nothing but only dry road will be observed, and water pond will again appear ahead. This illusion is called as the mirage. So in this diagram, there is a tall object. This horizontal line will represent the ground level. On this ground level, there is a tall object like a tall tree or any building. Then the observer is at this position. Then due to the sunlight, the ground will get heated more, and therefore the air close to this ground surface will get heated more. Therefore it will become very rarer, and therefore this ground close to this ground level, it is hottest as well as most rarer part of the air. As we go away from this ground level, then air will become gradually cooler here. That air will become cooler, and therefore as we go up from this ground level, the density of the air will be maximum, and therefore we can say that as we come down towards the ground level, the air will be becoming gradually rare. So the layer of the air close to this ground level will be acting as rarer, and as we go up it will act as denser. And therefore suppose the ray of light coming from this tall object is now traveling from denser medium to rarer medium downwards. At that time it will bend. As it is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, it will always bend away from the normal, and therefore it will come down. After some time, due to the refraction due to these rarer and denser layers of the air, it will become horizontal, and at last when it reaches to the observer, at that time it will travel from rarer medium to denser medium in the upward direction, and therefore this ray will be very close, that is along the ground level, and therefore when it is reaching to the observer, at that time it is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, therefore it will bend towards normal. And when it is observed by the observer, at that time it will be observed that this ray of light is coming here along this direction, and therefore there will be formation of the mirage, and it will be observed by this observer which is close to the ground level. So now let us see actually how that formation of the mirage will take place. So on the hot day, the air in contact with the road is hottest, and as we go up above the ground level, it gets gradually cooler. Then the refractive indices of the layers of the air thus will change with height. So if you consider the refractive index, just now we have seen that the air close to this ground level is very hot, and therefore its refractive index will be less. This refractive index will change, it will increase as we go up. That means if you consider this height, and if we come down towards this ground level, there will be decrease in the refractive index of the layers of the air, and hence due to this, the gradual change in the refractive index of the layers of the air, the ray of light which is coming from the tall object like a building or any tree, it will become more and more horizontal after some time, as it is almost touching the road surface. Then onwards, upward bending continues due to the denser air, and as a result, for an observer it appears to be coming from below, thereby giving an illusion of reflection from water surface. So in this way there will be illusion of a pond of water at some distance from the observer. Now let us see the second natural phenomenon, that is formation of rainbow. Now let us see first of all what are the rainbows, and then we will study how they are produced, what are the optical phenomenon involved in it, as well as what are the necessary conditions for the formation of rainbow. So rainbow is an eye-catching phenomenon occurring due to the rain and sunlight. When there is light raining and sunlight is clear, at that time rainbows will be observed. Now it is observable from anywhere on the earth's surface. Now sometimes two rainbows, one over the other, is also observed, as well as complete circular rainbow will be again observed if it is observed through any flying aeroplane. So now let us see some of the facts, some facts regarding the formation of the rainbows. So which are these facts? So first one is, it is seen during rain and on opposite side of the sun. So the back of the observer must be towards the sun. At that time only rainbow will be observed. Then it is seen only during morning and evening and not throughout the day. Third, in the commonly seen rainbow, red arc is outside and violet is inside. Fourth, in the rarely occurring concentric secondary rainbow, violet arc is outside and red is inside. There will be interchange of the red and violet arcs in primary and secondary rainbows. Fifth, it is the form of arc of a circle. Sixth, complete circle can be seen from a higher altitude, that is from any aeroplane. And seventh, the total internal reflection is not possible in this case, because when the rainbows are observed, at that time the total internal reflection will not take place. Now let us see what are the necessary conditions for the formation of a rainbow. The conditions necessary for the formation of rainbow are light shower with relatively large raindrops. So raining must be light and the raindrops must be large. Similarly, it will be observed only at the morning or evening time, and for that the enough sunlight must be there. And now let us see the optical phenomenon which are involved in the formation of rainbow. The optical phenomena involved in the formation of rainbow are as follows, and these are: the rays of light coming from sun incident on water drops deviate and disperse during refraction. That means here there will be deviation of light rays, dispersion of light rays, as well as refraction. Then reflect once, that means there will be reflection again, reflect once or twice internally, but remember it is not the total internal reflection, it will be only reflected once or twice internally and finally refract again in air. Now during these stages there is angular dispersion which leads to clear separation of the colors. So like this, in this case, deviation, dispersion, refraction, internal reflection will be present for the formation of rainbows.